That snaps for losers, man. I don't get involved in that stuff, but
And Rashad Milligan rolling out.
That's a good question.
Brandon,
we
you want one quick
can't
question?
ask Rashad questions.
Huge
Okay, Rashad.
accomplishment today in the world of HBCU athletic media. And yeah, by giving a scoop about Grambling hiring FAMU's former men's basketball coach. Now, Liv, if you guys don't know, she's a former college basketball player herself at FAMU. And yeah, she just kind of saw a need and a gap for coverage in HBCU basketball. She filled that. She's been doing it for a couple of years now. Every single year, every single month, she's gotten better. Every single week, she's improved something. Like a couple weeks ago, towards the end of like the NCAA tournament, she started doing like these graphics that very, symbolize kind of like what ESPN does with the breaking news and stuff like that to make the news pop out more and to give HBCUs the same love that you'll see on regular, how do you say it, like mainstream media kind of posts and stuff like that, coverage from the major networks. And she's doing it all one man army for real, for real. So salute to her for, oh yes. And the most important part of this is Pete, from ESPN, the college football senior writer and stuff like that. He, credit her. He tagged her in it and everything. She reported on it earlier today. And Pete has 300,000 followers, bro. So that's huge for Pete to get that shout out. So shout out to Pete. It's a lot of people with a lot smaller platforms that won't get that look, and especially a tag. Like they might say your name, but they might not tag you. So it's a big look for him to give her that tag, and it's just big win for HBCU athletics, big win for independent media, big win for Black media, and big win for Liv, bro. She's been hustling and working her behind off. Sometimes I really don't know how she be keeping up with the games to keep it a beam, because it's like the games be on like these random streaming services that you got to subscribe for and got to get $15 here, $20 here to watch a game. And she really keeps up with the games, like every game. And she does like a nightly recap of the top scorers from like the SWAC, the MEAC. And she's been doing it for the last couple of years. So I personally reached out to her earlier this season, earlier last season. Now at this point, the season's over. Early in the season, I was like, yo, you're doing a really good job, this and that, everything like that. And she's just like, thank you. But, she says that to everybody, like she responds to everybody. She gives people likes. She makes her followers feel seen. She makes it be, you know what I'm saying? It's the little things, bro, that gets people very far. She's going to get she's already gotten extremely far on an independent tip. I did see someone that was like, Liv only been doing it a couple years, and she already got more scoops and sources and everything than y'all that's been doing it for you. I'm like, you ain't had to put down the other media members to say that. And, like I kind of got like, when the WNBA players, when they like, you don't have to put down one player to the other, and it's like it's just competition, like compete, like yeah. But I understood it. Like when it came to like the media game, I was like, yeah, you ain't have to put down, because I rock with folks in that space, especially like Dr. Cavill, my boy Chuck as well. Who else? Who else I want to shout out? Dr. Cavill, Chuck, of course, Stephen Gaither, um, and HBCU game day crew, everything like that. Shout out to Nia, 100%. Shout out to Nia. Nia Simone. I had to think of the stage name because I was about to give out the government. But Nia Simone, there's so many great content creators in the HBCU space, and they've been doing it for years. My boy Wilton Jackson, always for sure, that partner them. My boy who used to be in the game but he dropped out, Anthony McDougal. Dougal, I had to shout him out just anyways because that's my dog and he's been doing it for a little minute. And she said it right here. I just want HBCU basketball teams, players, and coaches to get the promotion, recognition, and spotlight they've earned and always deserve. There's so much talent that comes out of HBCUs, and they continue to have players and coaches that put on. Speaking of this, since we're talking about HBCUs and everything like that, let me pull up. Let me pull up just a random kind of mock. If I could pull it up on Twitter because you won't find many like free mocks that go 3 rounds deep. So let me see if I can pull something up on Twitter. All right, hold on, give me a second. Let me see. What you see, Reggie, see. I'm trying to find like a. Okay, let me see. Oh, I just saw one, and I literally, I don't know why I did that. Why would I do that? Why'd you do that, Rashad? Hold on, twin. Let me see, Reggie. See what we got going. Okay. I wanted to speak about this though, because this was equally important to me. I'm gonna pull up this in the other tab too to get this ready. Okay, so let's speak on it, right? While we're speaking about Liv and giving her props and everybody in the HBCU space, media space especially, showing love and everything like that and working hard. Let's go to this, the big board. Okay, so tier 1, Paige Beckers, Dominique, and Sonia Citron. Very surprising. I guess she hopped into tier 1, but hey, salute. Georgia Amore, tier 2. Haley Van Lith, Kiki Iriafen, Iriafen. I just remember it's been pronounced 2 different ways during college. And like for 3 years at Stanford, it's been pronounced a particular way. And then this year it was pronounced a different way. So I'm so sorry to Kiki, even though it's been said the correct way all your senior season. But it still throws me off. Serena Sundell from Kansas State, Snipe. Anissa Morrow, LSU. Isaiah James, E. James, NC State. Cheyenne Sellers. Tier 3, overseas prospects. Sivka and Justy. Tier 4, best of the rest. Tiana Papau. Vonleh. Sedona Prince, Sanaya Rivers, Rhea Marshall, JJ Quinterly, Michaela Timpson, Sarah Ashley Barker, and Julia. And then tier 5, dark horses. Reagan Richardson, Harmony Turner, Lucy Olson, Deja Kelly. That's it. So why did I bring this up? Because Diamond Johnson's not on here. Diamond Johnson, for the last 2 seasons, has averaged 20 points, 5 rebounds, nearly 4 steals a game, 3 assists on 43% shooting. That's not best, but hey, 83%, 84% from the line, 38% shooting from the 3. This past season, nearly 19 points, over 6 rebounds a game, over 4 rebounds a game. Once again, nearly 4 steals a game. 4 assists to 2 turnovers a game. So assists to turnover ratio is 2-1. Shooting 47% from the field, 35% from 3, 83% once again from the free throw line. Diamond Johnson was projected to go in the first round a couple years ago. When she was with Rutgers, when she was over at NC State, she's projected to go in the first round. It's just like Haley Van Lith was projected to go in the first round when she was at Louisville before she transferred to LSU. Haley Van Lith transfers once again to TCU, and you see she moves all the way up to tier 2. Diamond Johnson's not even on the big board, bro. Zay Green's not even on the big board. Harmony Turner's on the big board. Salute. Congratulations, Harmony Turner. These 2 young women, Zay Green and Diamond Johnson, they need to be up here, bro. It doesn't make any sense. Zay Green transferred back into a P4, showed that she can still play. It doesn't matter if she's in the SWAC. It doesn't matter if she's in the SEC. When she started off at Tennessee, coming off of being a McDonald's All-American, or if she's at Alabama, she is who she is. Come on, man. Look at this now. Average 17 points last season, 16 points this season. Average 16 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists, a steal a game, nearly a block a game, shooting 47% from the field. The only thing that's looking nasty right now is the free throws. But everything else, like, what are we doing here? What are we talking about, bro? A couple seasons ago, I believe this was probably the SWAC years, 16 points. Her numbers are the same that they were in the SWAC that they were in the SEC. Why isn't Zay Green being talked about if she's just as old as Sedona Prince? Why isn't Diamond Johnson being talked about if she kind of made this, in my opinion, had the same type of career trajectory that Haley Van Lith had? Of course, Haley Van Lith is taller, but it's like, does that really matter that much in a W at the point guard? Not really. Not necessarily. Not when you have, and salute to Crystal Dangerfield, but not when you have players like Crystal Dangerfield and Destiny Henderson. And, you know, there's a lot of players that are just short, you know what I'm saying, smaller type players that are point guards that have made a living and stuck on WNBA rosters. So, yeah, man, I think they definitely need to do a better job of that. And I definitely think that an HBCU player should not only get drafted this season, whether it's Zay Green, because Zay Green still counts, or Diamond Johnson, they should stick on the WNBA roster this season. Diamond Johnson and Zay Green aren't, like, you know, saying scrubs, by the way. I think that's the point of this entire argument. It's like these are players who were All-Americans coming into college. They were Team USA coming into college, you know, with the U16, U17, all that stuff, type of teams and everything. They grew up playing with the nation's best talent. Their peers, Zay Green's peers like Shakira Austin, Aaliyah Boston, like those are her peers. Aaliyah Edwards, like those are Zay Green's peers. Diamond Johnson's peers are the Paige Beckers, the Angel Reeses, the Haley Van Lifts, like those are her, you know what I'm saying? Those are her people, her peers and things of that sort. And they played next to them and they played up to their levels, and their college statistics show that they were good players. They didn't fall off. They weren't just like what happened to them after high school. They had good college careers. So I think for the sake of, you know, HBCUs and making a statement that you stand with HBCUs, the WNBA those teams should draft those 2 players, and those 2 players, at least one of them, should make a WNBA roster. Show your solidarity and support of HBCUs, but it's not a handout. It's just what they've earned by the way they played and stuff like that. Salute to the HBCU All-Stars game that my boy throws over. Coach Travis, everything like that. Him throwing it every year and stuff like that. That was sounded crazy. Came out crazy, but yeah, you get the point. He did it this year in Houston, and it's just a great idea. But you know, we're doing these HBCU games and HBCU spotlights and HBCU nights. But we're not bringing on HBCU talent. And like I said, it's not a handout if you have the talent. And in the case of Zay Green and in the case of Diamond Johnson, neither of them jokers is a handout. Especially when Diamond Johnson was starting and playing and averaging double-digit figures at Rutgers and NC State. You know what I'm saying? But this is the beginning of her season. Her beginning of her career is averaging nearly 18 points, 4 rebounds. You know what I'm saying? Next to WNBA talent and on the starting lineup. Like it's not lining up, bro. So yeah, I wanted to say that, kind of ending that entire thing. And shout out to LivForHoops once again. Shout out to HBCUs. All right, next thing. Now we getting started to say everything else, man.
That's for losers, man. I don't get involved in that stuff, but
George Milligan rolling out.
That's a good question. Brandon,
Yeah,
you want one quick
we
question?
can't ask Rashad a question.
Hey, Rashad.